this was for prejudging, Beck's name would get called and she would come from the side of the stage up the stairs and present. Yeah, so she would walk forward to a cross on the middle of the stage. She'd hit 4 poses, whatever she likes, so maybe a rear, side, side and front. Yeah, and then she would present to the judges and walk to the far side of the stage into her relaxed bikini pose. Yeah. Then the next girl would get called out, do the same thing, and walk back into the lineup into relaxed pose. So by the end of everybody getting called out, there would be a whole line of girls lined up, and then we get called out for our pre-judging quarter turns. So that'd be 3 at a time, and they would usually start us off front pose, and they would say quarter turn to the right, quarter turn to the rear, quarter turn to the right, and quarter turn back to the front. They would then say, thank you ladies, step back into the lineup, we'd present and walk back to the lineup where we would again take our relaxed pose. And that's pretty much it for prejudging. Okay, so front pose, we always want to keep the legs straight so that we're getting those cuts through our legs. If our legs are bent, it's not showing that definition. You want to keep your ribs, you don't want to push your ribs out too much because then we just look skeletal. So you sort of want to try and keep the stomach flat but not too arched. Don't put your shoulders too far back. We want to, they still want to be able to see our shoulders, so you're really making sure that they're quite strong. I would recommend some girls, can you show how some girls put their hand right out? So some girls do this for bikini, but it kind of gives the body, it doesn't create nice lines, so it looks nicer to have a bit more of a relaxed pose, and that can make the shoulder look like it's coming out a little bit more as well. And then if you're going to do a quarter turn to the right, so you can either have your leg straight down like this, or some people also turn it out a little bit, like where it's bent, sort of, yeah. But it just depends what you think looks better on your legs, so look in the mirror and just test that out a little bit. You really want to make sure that your torso is turned to the front as much as you can, so that you're creating those full shoulders still. You don't want to hide this back shoulder. The wrist should just be quite relaxed on the hip. You don't want it to be too stiff. That's probably pretty much it for the side pose, and then a back pose. So basically with a back pose you can either do the straight one like this. You don't want to bend over too much. You just want to create a nice little bump through the bum. Some girls turn their head to the side. Yeah. Some just look straight to the back. You don't want your arms, show you how the figure girls stand. So you don't want your arms too far out because it can create chicken wings through the bones here. So if you sort of sit your hands just on your lower belly, that tends to create a nice wide look through the back here. Some girls will do a little turn to the back and give a bit of a wink or something for a bit of sass. Usually if you're going to do the little turn, you sort of need to go to one side to do it because it's a bit hard if you're standing straight on to just turn. You can't really get that head movement. If you feel comfortable with, you can do the crossover. Can you do a crossover? It's a bit trickier to balance, but some girls like that look of the crossover, so that's up to you pretty much how you want to do that. And then it would be a quarter turn back to the right, which is just the same as the other side pose except for the other side. And that's pretty much it for the quarter turns.